I forgot to
Um,
press record. Sorry. Okay. Carry on. I just realized.
so yeah, so I just took the details and I contacted the guys over there, and um, whoever was on the other end, he replied and he was like, yeah, it's just, we are still in the process of hiring a crew and whatnot. And but I was so relentless. I was just, every um 15 days, I was just emailing him like, hey, what's the status and whatnot and blah blah blah. And that guy, maybe he got really frustrated or what, but he was replying me every time. So I was like, okay, that's my only hope. So at the end, I was like, don't give me a job, just give me an internship. I will just work for free. And he was like, yeah, we are on a tight budget anyway, so if we have to hire you, we can hire you as an intern. I was like, done. So for 3 months, and we just went there, packed everything, and just went there. It's like where we're living. It's 1 or 2 hour drive
Okay.
further, and it's in a really small like town where most of the it's like holiday homes for
Okay. Yeah.
wealthy people.
Mm-hmm.
But that studio was like in the church's premises. So I was like, it's really quiet and really beautiful place and everything, and I get to work there. And I was like, okay, let me just do. And but in 3 months, they hired me. So they were like, yeah, we really like your work, and now we will support you on your visa applications and things like that. And but yeah, so I started my career that way, and then yeah, I got a big, I yeah, there was like a big turning point of my life too, because
Mm-hmm.
I met my life coach. So she was living where we were living, and there was another dwelling in the same premises, but she was living in a small shack.
Okay.
I was like, and she had like all kind of books and everything, and you name it, she knows so many stuff. And I'm like, okay, she looks interesting. And
Yeah.
then talking to her and whatnot, and she was like, you're you're here temporarily, right? I was like, what? She was like, yeah, because there is like a bigger studio who are making all the Avatar and all those other movies. That it's in the New Zealand too. So, but it was like 9 or 10 hours drive from where we were.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
she was like, yeah, you're bound to go there. I was like, okay. We'll see, because I was talking to all the industry people, and they're in my studio, and they were like, unless you are really, really higher position, or you're like, you have a really strong background, they're not gonna hire you. I'm like, okay, but she was telling me every, month or so, or whenever she see me, like, did you apply there? Did you apply? Did you apply? And one day I got so frustrated, I just applied. Like what position or whatnot. I just applied just to sake of it, like, to say her like, yeah, I applied, but nothing's gonna happen.
Uh-huh.
But
Just to
luckily,
shut her up, basically, right?
yeah,
As I said.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. So, and then she was like, that's great. You'll get a call. I'm like, what? I was like, I'm not gonna get any call. I know that. Uh, But luckily, my contract was ending on my current company, and those guys emailed me like, "Hey, we like your work and we want to hire you." I'm like, "What?"
Amazing.
Yeah. So then, yeah, then she was like, "Told you, right?" And then from there on, I was like, "Okay." Since then, I don't know like what it means to have like a life coach, but after that, I was like, "Okay, yeah, now I know." Yeah.
Yeah,
So
somebody that pushes you, right? Your
yeah,
accountability.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah. And
So
essentially it all stemmed from working in the corner store and this woman who really liked you, right?
yeah, exactly. So I'm
Yeah.
like, I mean, I'm destined to go there, I think, because everything works and I connect the dots. And I was like, okay, I, yeah, they hired me. I went there. I worked there for 4 years. And then she was like, you know what? Go and play with the big guys. I'm like, what? I have no idea. My life was settled over there, right? That's what
Yeah,
my vision is at that time, like, having a stable job and then buy a house and you're set for life.
that's it.
Yeah, that's
The
it.
end.
And
Live
you
happily
let
ever
that,
after.
yeah, you sit on that house for 5 years and who knows, you get some bit of equity there and buy another one and that's about it. And then she was like, no, you're you're gonna go somewhere and then after a few years, who knows? We'll see. I was like, okay. And then I was like, okay, let me apply where I want to go before I came to here in New Zealand, right? So I applied in few companies here in Canada, and I applied few companies in Australia. And at the same time, I had interviewed with three of them, like in 1 or 2 days. It was
Okay.
all lined
Yeah.
up, and it was COVID time, and I think all the lockdown just finished. So,
Okay.
one of the studio, they were like, we have a vacancy, but we want to send you to Singapore branch. And I'm like, no, I don't want to go to Singapore with my family in this time. I was like, I would rather stay here or Australia, or if I go to Canada maybe. But at that time, it didn't feel feasible for me.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I chose Canada because, I was like, I want to go there first in the beginning, not knowing what I'm gonna do, but now I know what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
So yeah, then everything happens and we moved and then got settled down here and then I was looking like, hey, now what's next? So um, it took almost like 1.5 year to figure it out, like what's next.
Right.
Because I mean, my wife knows that too, like whenever things starting to get like a little comfortable, I find something to do which makes me uncomfortable. Like this
Awesome.
podcast, it's my
Yeah.
first
Yeah.
time.
Yeah. Yeah. And,
You
and
know?
that's awesome, right?
Yeah.
Get
So
comfortable with being uncomfortable.
yeah,
That's how you
exactly.
grow.
Yeah. So I'm like, okay. And then I was figuring out like what and how and what. And when we came, like before coming to here, we were planning to buy a house over there. And for some reason, it didn't happen. So we were in the FOMO. And when we came here, the market was hot. But I don't know what hot means and what it
Yeah.
is, right?
Mm-hmm.
So um, we put money in pre-construction condo like everyone else did in 2022. So, and it was only like 2 months we came here, and someone say like, yeah, you can buy even though you are on work visa because um, by the time you close the house, you might get your permanent
PR. Yeah.
residency.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I'm like, yeah, that's a good idea, right? Because I know, like, I came with a plan to have the permanent residency in a year. And
Mm-hmm.
company was ready to support me with all the documents needed, and my profile was strong, and I know that. And I was like, okay, then let me just buy that. And then I paid the deposit and everything, and then I was just learning along the way, like, what can I do how thing works, and then I got more interested into real estate, like it shouldn't be an
The
only
light
way.
bulb.
Yeah, exactly. I'm
Yeah.
like, and then the things were like, suppose those pre-construction supposed to finish at 2024, but I'm glad it didn't.
Right. Yeah.
But at that time, I was really frustrated. I was like, why they delayed my, construction and why they did that and this and like my money is stuck there and I'm still paying rent and then things started to explode. Like there is bigger things than this, in real
Yeah,
estate that you could have done. And then I was like, okay, I shouldn't be making this kind of expensive mistakes. I mean, it's not a mistake, it's learning, but still, yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
And
uh,
who could have predicted what
yeah,
was going to
nobody,
happen, right?
yeah,
Like we don't
nobody
know.
could,
Yeah.
yeah. So then I was like, let me just search, and then I found the group that we both are part of.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, I'm really glad that, I spend money on the education and it's worth it from day one. And I'm learning a lot of things right now about the real estate and things that even like 2 years back I never thought I would able to even go and see like
Right.
families, or even like I saw one house recently who has fire damage, but there is a potential there too. And those things I like 6 months or a year before I was never about
No idea. You don't know
yeah,
what you don't
yeah,
know, right? Yeah.
always looking for shiny bells and whistles, right?
Yeah.
So like,
Yeah. Get
no,
rich quick, but you
exactly.
learn it's about
Constant.
leveraging what you have and
Yeah,
slow growth, right?
yeah. And all the people who are in the same team, they are like, supporting each other. And sometimes I feel like I'm asking silliest questions, but people don't think that way. They're
No,
always ready to help because they know where they started from.
exactly.
So I'm in really, really good
Company.
group of, yeah, company.
Yes, yes, yes.
So yeah, but
Yeah.
yeah, the thing I like about real estate is like, whenever, let's say, some kind of rule change or something, we figure it out. And then that kind of mentality I had before, like when I was struggling to get my residency in New Zealand, like my PR in New Zealand,
Hmm.
because it was an like when we submitted the file, it was election time, and
Okay.
I don't know, like lots of rules can change before the election time, right? And we submitted our application, and next day the rule changed, and we were eligible, but now we are not. And
Yeah.
I was blaming the system, blaming the politician, blaming this and that, and then I was like, why I'm blaming everyone? It's just
Things
things,
happen for a
yeah,
reason,
things
right?
happen exactly.
Hmm.
And then it took us like a year or something to uh, get back and get eligible again. And it was, yeah, when it happened, everything happened in like in a month, you know, because I think it's bound to be happen that way. So I'm like, now if I do any deal, or now if I do any analyzation or any, underwriting, or something happens in even our personal life, I was like, yeah, there should be like, deeper meaning why it's happening, rather than we just lash out on anyone, or, do anything, just self-compose and think like that should be a
It's
good
all part
reason.
of the big
Yeah,
picture, right? And
yeah,
yep.
exactly. So
Hmm.
yeah, so it gave me that, that kind of sense beforehand, before joining or before diving deeper into investment, like into real estate. So now I know, like, if something's gonna happen, I can figure it out. It it
Absolutely.
there's
Everything
always
is
a way.
figure
Yeah,
outable,
yeah.
right?
There's always a way. Yeah. So,
Yep. There's always an answer.
hmm, yeah, that's true.
So tell us, you've been looking at a couple of deals
Oh
recently.
yeah,
Tell us about
yeah.
that and what you've learned or what
Hmm.
you're looking at, what your due
Yeah,
diligence is.
sure. Yeah, I can talk about it. It's the one deal I've been looking. It's duplex, but there is a potential to convert into triplex. Um, the structure is already there. We might just have to get the builder and get the permits and things like that to build it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I'm negotiating with him and I'm looking maybe I can have it as a primary where I can get away with like, minimum down payment and
Right.
yeah, and then I
Nice.
can leverage, construction loan and things like that in my mortgage to do that, all the renovation and everything.
Right.
That's 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 one of the option that we are seeing, and I found it off market from marketplace.
Nice.
Yeah, and that guy has like other properties too, which are good for investment. But
Hmm.
yeah, so I'm looking on those ones too because it's not gonna go anywhere. So I'm taking my time to,
Right.
analyze and do my due diligence and everything. And the other one um, is off market too, and that one is like a fire damaged property where we can, demolish the existing house and build the fiveplex there. So yeah, I'm
Nice.
talking to architects and city to see like what's the possibility and things I'm learning as well, like setbacks and variances and parking.
Right.
And
Right.
so, but yeah, I'm like I don't have much of experience, but somehow when I talk about those things to any of like a city or architect, I get so much confidence to speak about it
Yeah.
because I know I have a strong group of people
That you
that I
can reach
can
out
rely
to
on.
for,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
guidance. Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'm analyzing those things right now. So if anyone interested to know more, yeah, you know where to find me.
That's exciting. That's very
Yeah,
exciting. Yeah. And
that's
the beauty about off-market deals is you get to directly deal with the owner,
oh
right?
yes,
You don't
yes.
have the two real estate agents in the
No.
middle to muddle
Hmm.
communications and get things
Yeah,
mixed up.
that's
That
true.
you
Yeah.
can really zone in and find out what their pain points are so that you
Hmm.
can make the offer
Oh yeah.
accordingly, right?
Yeah.
Or do some
Yeah.
creative finance strategies with them, a
Yeah,
vendor take back
that's true.
mortgage or
Yeah.
things like that.
And
Yeah.
I talked to like one guy, one of the seller I was talking, and I saw the power of love letter.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Love a love letter.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
exactly. And I saw like like when I put something like I will put this much of deposit. His reply was, "You're buying a real estate, not a bicycle." It hurt at first because
Yeah.
I'm dealing with first time, you know.
Yeah.
Then I was like, but this is just, it's a one building. I'm
Yeah.
gonna buy multiple, so I have to deal with this kind of,
Yeah.
people
Yeah.
reply. But then I wrote a love letter, and then his reply was really different than what it.
Okay. Because you
So
presented logic and
yeah,
reason, right?
exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah, AI helped a lot in writing all those things, but you can, yeah, you can change people's perspective by uh, writing them a love letter. Yeah.
Let me tell you about the deal I just closed on, and
Mhm.
I wrote a
Sure.
love letter, and they were asking 162,
Mm-hmm.
and I wrote a love letter with logic and reason. Love the I love this property. You've done a fabulous job, new build, blah blah blah. Took the rents, and I mean they had projections of what it could earn. But we're real estate investors,
Yeah.
we don't, we're not prospectors, blah, blah,
Hmm.
blah. This is what I see the value of the building is.
Yeah.
And he came back, he was really pissy with me and he says, something about, because I think I offered 1.5
Hmm.
and he came back, "Rah, rah, 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 rah. Don't you see the potential? And blah, 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 blah. My clients won't take anything less than 1.565. Okay, I'll offer 1.565. Thank you very much for letting me know what your bottom line was. And they accepted.
Oh, wow. Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. So, I
Congratulations.
mean,
Yeah.
ultimately it worked anyways,
Yeah. Yeah. True.
because I knew what their bottom line was.
Yeah. Yeah. And yeah, we like when we land here, we were in Burnaby, in Lower Mainland, but now we moved to the smaller city in Kamloops.
Yeah,
So yeah, there was a reason to move here as well. Um,
because
uh,
you can find deals there that the
yes,
numbers work,
yes,
right?
where the number works because I saw over there is like you know people put whatever number they can.
Yeah,
Here, like there is like duplex you can find for five, 600,000,
yeah.
and where you get a big lot at the backyard or front yard or some space where you can,
Build
you can,
another unit.
yeah.
Yeah,
And the city is trying to, densify the areas because there's always rental shortage.
right, right.
The vacancy rate, like I was talking to some locals and they had like few properties here and they were like the vacancy rate, whatever numbers they are saying on CMHC, but is technically zero.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And I felt that too because I'm
But if you
renting.
want to finance through CMHC, you got to go with their numbers, right? Yeah.
Of course.
Hmm.
But yeah, but then when I moved here, I found that same thing. Like, the place it goes like this. And it took like for us, it's always we can come up here to view on the weekend, but they were like we were talking to some potential renting place we can rent, and they were like, sorry, it's gone. Even before weekend comes. Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah,
So that was a good lesson to know, right?
I'm like, that's
When,
good. I
hmm.
asked in like some of the Facebook pages, like, hey, how's the rental market here? And someone was like, I'll fight for like a box for you here, right? To
Yeah,
live in. I'm
yeah,
like,
yeah.
okay, so that's a good market for me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Perfect.
yeah,
I don't have
yeah,
anywhere to live, but it's a great place to
exactly.
invest, right? Yeah.
Yeah. But luckily we found really good rental place and the owner was really nice. They hold the place for us and they were like, yeah, whenever you're ready to come, just
Nice.
let us
Nice.
know. So yeah. And then I saw like the zoning and everything. I was looking and most of the houses have the zoning where you can build 4 units. But
Nice.
I'm like, okay, now that's a good.
Now we're talking.
Yeah, now we're talking
Yeah.
exactly. But things take time. Like it never happened over time. We came like my friends living here, so we came here frequently, and then we don't know the potential as. But when we started learning all the real estate and everything, whenever I come up here, I look for the houses on my phone,
Yeah.
as we all do. Uh, and then I was like, okay, the prices are not too bad. And then I was asking them and everyone else, how's the renting and things like that. They're like, yeah, people are always struggling with the rent, finding a good place and things. I'm like, okay, let me make some plan. And
Yeah.
I can work remotely anywhere in DC. So I'm like, I'm really flexible to move. So we were like, my wife, we were like, let's find a job for you over there so we
Yeah.
can. And yeah, it took time, but finally she got a job in the government. So that's what she wanted to do. Because she worked in the government in New Zealand, and she was like, I like this kind of job where there is a time freedom and there's all the perks and job security, and then on the side I can do the real estate.
Right. Right.
She's studying about property management and everything, so
Excellent.
the license soon, hopefully. So, yeah.
So it
So,
sounds like you're getting all your ducks in a
yeah,
row and
exactly.
ready to,
Ready
yeah.
to fire.
Yeah. Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's about it.
Yeah, well, that's very exciting.
Hmm.
And just a little story we talked about before. Tell us about how you came up with your name, your HK Realty Investments.
Okay, yeah, for sure. So that's an interesting story. Like, both my parents, they have as long as I remember, they haven't done like work for anyone else. They were always entrepreneurs, and my mother has like a hair and makeup salon. My dad worked at few like businesses, but it's always something doing independently. So when he started one of the company, he was looking for the name. So that came with like H as my initial and my mom's initial, and K is his initial. So he,
Okay.
okay, let me name this like HK Traders. He was doing like a trading business in chemicals. So that took off really well. Then few of my cousins, they were like, they want to start a business. So they were like, what should we name our business? And one of the guy um, made his company name HK Engineering. So he got the construction company and that took off really well. And another one started traveling company with the same, HK Travels. So when we
Yeah.
were,
I can't
yeah,
lose.
exactly. So I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, when we were thinking like what we should call our company, and then my wife was like, why you're thinking so hard? I was like, because I need a name. She was like, you already have a name. Like, okay, what is it? And she was like, HK, then Realty Investment. I'm like, that's really, really clever. So like, yeah, that done deal. And we, yeah, name our company HK Realty Investment.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. That's awesome. So exciting stuff going on, eh? You
Oh
must be,
yes. Oh yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Definitely.
lots of work doing the due
Yeah.
diligence and you're talking to other investors like, that have done these things before you
Yeah.
and that's the wonderful thing about this community
Exactly.
is that everybody is so giving, right?
Mhm.
And
Yes.
they're willing to share
Yeah.
their experience with
Hmm.
other investors or collaborate.
Oh
That's
yeah.
that's
That's
the other
true.
thing.
Yeah.
That's
That's the other one.
where we're going now with Millionaire Mindset Mondays and
Mhm.
collaboration partnerships.
Yeah.
Those are great too, right? Whether it's
Yes.
active and passive investors or
Yeah.
two actives and a passive or however yeah.
Yeah, yeah, no, even some of the deals that I'm looking, I'm collaborated with one of the people from our circle. So I was like, you are more experienced than me. You have a better connection, so
Right,
I
so
can
that's
leverage, and
great
we
to
both
partner.
can, yeah, we
And
both
then,
can
so
invest.
so you give them a little piece of the pie,
Yeah,
but then they save you time and money because you could make
yeah,
mistakes or the
exactly.
deal couldn't go through and they might know
Hmm.
how to mitigate that and yeah, it's just
Yeah.
win-win for everybody,
Yeah,
right?
and
When you
I'm like, yeah, I'm not looking into, having the whole pie myself. Just to
hmm
start with, I'm happy to share, but I want that, experience to come with it.
right.
We all can win. Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's the thing is partnering and going back to partnering with other people, you can build a stronger team if
Yes.
you get experts in different parts of
Hmm.
things that you're not so strong in, right?
That's true. That's true. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
that's great.
yeah,
Yeah, I'm happy to hear that. I'm sorry I won't see you at Expand, but
it's fun, but hopefully next one. Yeah.
next time,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, next
Will
time.
be. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's great. I wish you all the success and
Thank
I'll
you so
watch
much.
online to keep up with how things are coming along. I want to see the big announcement, offer accepted.
Yeah,
Those,
yeah, yeah. For
yeah.
sure. Yeah.
And that's all part of it too, right? Is we're just kind of each other's cheerleaders and
Oh yeah,
we're
for sure.
truly happy to see other investors
Yeah.
succeed and have
Oh yeah.
wins and yeah.
Yeah, I was like before joining, I was really like private and secluded guy. I won't share much of my things online or on social media. But then my coach was like, we're gonna change that.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
let's try. So then I started posting and connecting with people and things like that, and posting stuff over there. And then few of the my connection, like my friends who are I was on Facebook with, they call me like, hey, I see what
Hey, tell
you're
me, what do
doing
you got
this,
going
and
on?
hey, I
Yeah.
have this much equity on my property and this and that. And I'm like, okay, wait, let me just put you
Let
down
me
on
make some
my
money for you, right?
yeah,
And
let me
and
put
they
you
don't,
down.
and that's the beauty is they don't
Yeah,
have the education, they don't have the connections, but
yeah,
if they have some capital and you bring that into the project, like
yeah,
you can make money for them and they don't have to know
exactly.
anything,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. They can
Yeah,
do their, whatever they are doing, and their money will
exactly.
grow.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful
Hmm.
community, and m most times in life, you want to keep things a secret. You don't want to
Hmm.
share, but this like you want to
Yeah,
share with other people, and
yeah, that's true.
you want to
I was
yeah
really hesitant before, like when I joined, and I was like, did people talk about numbers, or like if I ask someone, how much they buy the property for, are they gonna be like offended, or
yeah
they're,
yeah
and I was like, let me just do
no
it, and people talk about that openly, like, hey, I was this and this
right.
much of expense, and this were my soft costs, and that's the ARV, and I'm like, wow, people are like,
I know, very open, right?
willing
It's
to
all about
share. Yeah,
numbers. Yeah.
yeah,
Even
exactly.
talking to potential capital partners and
Yeah,
you ask them what their income is, how much,
yeah,
how much cash, how much registered funds, what's on your HELOC. And I mean, you wouldn't go up to somebody on the street and ask those kind of questions, but it's very open
yeah,
because if you don't have the information,
yeah.
you can't structure it to
No,
help them that's most beneficial to them, right?
exactly. And I was like, if I do that on my job, I'll get fired on first day. Like,
Yeah.
how much you are earning? Fired.
Yeah, yeah. I know, right? Like
Yeah,
that's just rude. You don't ask
yeah,
somebody how much money
exactly.
they make, but if you want to help them make money, you have to
Yeah,
know their information so you can see how
exactly.
you can best yeah, leverage what they
Cater
have,
them.
right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah, that's that.
it's a different world, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm. But
Real
in a
estate
really,
investing. I
really
love
good
it.
way. Yeah.
Yeah, I love it. I love the community. I
Yeah.
love being able to help other people make money.
Oh,
I
yeah.
love partnering with people, to get into bigger
Mhm.
projects. It's just
Yeah. And I have a background in like, in technical and design and all the other like computer stuff. And so I help if I can, I help them that way. Like,
yeah.
um, like I spoke to like one or two universities back home where I give like introduction like to their what do you call that when they have like a big introduction of the program.
Okay.
One of my faculty who taught me about all the animation and everything is like,
Right.
"Can you come and speak?" And now everything is like online. I'm like, yeah, I can.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So yeah, it's really good to inspire, next generation who wants to start, because I see like here, I've seen people who've been doing for such a long time, they are supporting me. So I'm like, there's one
Yeah,
way
you
or the
give
other
and you
I
share
can
your
give them
knowledge
back.
with other
Yeah.
people, right?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
that's what makes
Hmm.
everything go round.
Yeah, that's for sure. Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay, well, we're gonna wrap things up because it was
Awesome.
I've got another call to get to.
Yep.
But again, Harsh, great talking to you
Yeah,
again. I'm really
likewise.
disappointed. I'm not going to see you at the Expand conference. I will be there again. The beginning of this
Hmm.
wasn't recorded, so anybody who's watching, I do have an amazing promo code. If even for non-members of Wealth Genius that would like to attend the Expand conference this weekend in Toronto. Great conference, tons of education, tons of networking, tons of opportunities, deals to get involved in, all that kind of stuff. So reach out to me if you'd like the promo code to get to an amazing event for a fraction of the cost. And Harsh, I'll see you at the next one.
Oh,
I'm
yes, for
assuming,
sure.
yeah, it'll be in June, but I'll watch for your announcement that you have a accepted offer.
Oh, yes. That's
coming up.
yeah, still have few days left on until this year. So yeah, who knows?
Absolutely. Finish
So time
strong,
to, yeah,
right?
exactly.
Finish
Finish strong.
strong. We got a couple of weeks left and a little
Yeah.
more than a couple of weeks to get one more deal
Yeah.
in.
Exactly. That's why I couldn't come because I'm in middle of like two, three deals.
Right,
It's
right.
yeah, it's
Yeah,
first time. So I'm like, I don't know. But once I learn how to drive car, I'm like, okay, yeah, I know I can be there and deal with stuff here.
right, right. Yeah, yeah,
So, for sure.
yeah.
But yeah, thank you so much for having me today.
Thank you again. And to our guest, I'm Jan Carmanico Reeves on a mission to make real estate investing fun, easy, and profitable. I do have a deal opportunity right now. Reach out to me if you'd like to learn more about that. And real estate investing is fun, easy, and profitable. Okay,
Yeah,
have a
for
great
sure.
night, everybody. And we will see you all next week.